It is the coziest, gloomy day ever, and it is the perfect time to talk about paper, about stationery, about planners, about notebooks. I have my little lemon balm tea with me here this morning. I'm feeling snug as a bug in a rug, and I have a big stack of journals and notebooks to dissect with you today. I actually didn't realize I had so many until I gathered them all together, because the way that these serve me is they live in so many different areas of my life and of my home. And I love seeing how other people use their stationery and their notebooks and their journals. And I've recently just started my autumn curriculum. I'm just so enveloped by this concept of personal curriculums and love seeing how other people are studying as non-student adults just wanting to continue learning. I love a pen and paper. I love a pen and paper, and we're gonna start with my planners. Here I have 2 planners. Now, I will say I actually have 3. These are my 2 that I keep at home, and I have one that I keep at work as well. That's strictly for work. Sometimes it sneaks home so I can coordinate it with my other planners, but for the most part, these are the 2 that stay home with me. I've just recently purchased these, so they're a little bit empty because I'm preparing for the 2026 year. This is my daily planner. I love the little Snoopy on it, and I reference this multiple times a day. Every single day. And I love that it has the little tabs for each month to help you quickly get to where you need to go. And while I can't show you the filled out pages just due to personal information, this is the setup before each month. On one side, it has what you're grateful for, goals to do that you can check off, and then a little can't forget and notes and doodles. And I actually typically use the to do in this daily kind of personal planner as my TBR, and I'll write down and track the books that I read that month. But I just really love the layout. Let me see if there's one that's mostly safe. You can see how I color code as well here. I have purple as my work-related tasks and yellow as just kind of around the home and whatnot. And I like to just go through my day. I usually transfer it over into my phone as well every morning, so that if I'm out and about and I don't have my planner with me, I still know what's going on. And this is my lifeline. I consult with this before bed every single night, so I know what's happening the next day. All my appointments go in here. It is just the hub of putting in my social media work, my day job a little bit here and there, and things just around the house, keep on top of different loads of laundry that I want to do. Like I live in the pages of this planner. And then my second planner is my content planner. So I love this one. And I found both of these just at HomeSense, which here in Canada is similar to Home Goods, or if you're in the UK, like TK Maxx, I believe. And it's just such a nice like leather journal cover, and similarly it has the wonderful tabs, all the months in the side, and I really, again, just love that. For this one I mainly use the big calendar. I'll show you August since there's no spoilers showing you the past. And because I got this planner in August, it's not full. You can see I just list my podcast episodes that I'm going to be releasing, as I release one publicly every Sunday and Tuesdays on Patreon. Any other content that I need to remember, like my monthly journal prompts, which I share on my Patreon at the end of each month for the next month. I'll put in YouTube ideas of when and what I want to upload, and just kind of plan my content out that way. It also has a really nice start of the month page too. You can put, you know, your monthly goals, dates to remember, which I like to do for birthdays. That is my content planner, and I don't so much use the daily slots in this planner always, but I really just like having a completely separate planner for my content to have, and there's note sections in the back that I can brainstorm in, and I just love this. And it's so interesting because I have gone through years where I don't use a personal planner at all. In the last couple of years, it's just really stuck and been really beneficial for me, feeling like I have a clear mind before bed at night, writing everything down that I want to remember for the next day, so I don't feel like it's swimming around in my brain, keeping me awake. I think similarly with notebooks, there's something about putting pen to paper instead of just jotting something down in my phone. And I really love to live an analog life where I can, and that very much shines through in my notebook ecosystem, which is what we're going to talk about next. And I did bring some full notebooks as well to give you an example of what my daily writing looks like. So these have been my daily notebooks throughout the spring and summertime, and they are the cutest little Moomin notebooks. They're in the midi size by Flame Tree Publishing, and this is my current one. You can tell it's a little bit thinner so far because I love to use my washi tape and my stickers and my fun stationery in these. And here is where I just share all of my daily journal prompts. And I just write these out at the end of each month for each day, so that one day in the month I brainstorm and I think about what I'm going to want to do daily prompts about the next month. And as the month goes by, I don't have to think about it so much. I can just flip to my table of contents, see what the prompt is for that day, and write accordingly. And I have had so much fun just decorating, and I love an excuse to use a fun little washi tape and stickers. So this is my current journal. I've just started on September. And like I said, these other ones are like full. Sometimes I'll even put in, you can see here is just a little book review of when I read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Sometimes I'll do like full collage spreads. Really, there's no rules. It's just whatever I feel like making that day. A very full sticker spread. Sometimes they're more word heavy with my monthly reflections. And this one is also chocked full. And I just think those are going to be very interesting to reflect back on, especially because it's been a very tumultuous summer for me of navigating health issues, and I'm sure that's reflected in my journals. And I have a journal that is my newest and I'm feeling very excited about. One of my Patreon and Discord friends, Ali, sent me this. It is a little Kiki's Delivery Service notebook. It is so darling. I'm using this as my autumn curriculum notebook, which I did a whole podcast episode on. A great excuse to use my fall washi tape and some stickers. And I've literally just started this, and I actually need to add to it today. I'm doing my project pan on my tea stash, and I just finished my box of lemon balm tea today, so I'm gonna have to add that into my tracker. This is also where I'm tracking my highlights from the Beatrix Potter memoir that I'm reading as I'm studying the life and times of Beatrix Potter this autumn. And I am so interested to see how this fills up. I've only just started this a few days ago. I am so interested to see how this fills up. I have some very small notebooks that are also from Flame Tree Publishing. They are the perfect portable size. This little notebook comes most places with me in my bag. Otherwise it stays on my bedside table. And this is my health log. So in here I keep my blood pressure readings, my pulse, any symptoms that I'm having, when I was trialing new medications, when I was taking them, what my heart rate was, what everything was doing kind of in my body after taking those medications. And this really helped me get diagnosed properly, to be honest, and with navigating doctor's appointments. I am just not interested in a ring where I have to pay a subscription to access my health metrics and data. So I am much happier to do it what I guess now would be the old school way. I remember my grandma having her little blood pressure log, and that's just the way it goes with chronic illness. So my health log is my everything. And then I have my little scribbly notebook, I suppose, where I almost don't even want to show you. I like sketch cards that I want to make and put random little thoughts and a lot of budgeting information, which I'm not going to share, but this is one where like nothing matters. Anything I need to jot down, if I'm on the phone, I need to write something down. And again, this just stays in my little bedside table or in my purse if I'm out and need to write something down. I just think it's really beneficial to have a small little notebook where you can put absolutely anything and it doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter how it looks. I have my commonplace notebook, and this is new to me, and I probably don't reach for this as much as I wish I did, and I think maybe I need to put this into a smaller notebook because it's just not accessible enough. I like a notebook with the rings because it's easier to fully crack open. If you're not familiar with commonplacing, it's essentially a way just to collect information that you discover through your day. Maybe it's through reading, maybe it's through watching a movie, a quote that you hear, a coffee shop that you went to and you really liked a latte that you had there, and you can just jot it all down in one little notebook to reflect back upon. So I started this at the start of the year, January 2025, and just have a few little things. I've tracked quotes, I've tracked what I got for Christmas last year, which I think that's really just neat little things to look back on. Some other just quotes and things that I've heard, whether it's in a podcast or in a book or whatever it might be. I've tracked how I want to decorate for fall, which I must have written this in the spring. Most of it rang true, but I love commonplacing. I heard about it through Ruby Granger here on YouTube, who has wonderful, beautiful videos about commonplacing, about notebooks, about academics, everything. And this is something that I would love to pick up more, and I should probably keep it somewhere a little bit more accessible rather than the bottom of my nightstand. And I have one of my notebooks that I just love the feel of so much. I've written so many things in it. I think it cost me all of $1.25, and it's my podcast notebook. This is where I plan out and map all of my podcast episodes, pen and paper, nothing fancy. It is just absolutely full of writing and words. And this is just where my brain lies. It tucks itself up in here and has a nap every now and again. And this is usually what sits with me while I'm recording my podcast to reference back to. This also stays on my nightstand because so often when I'm in bed at nighttime, I'll have these thoughts or I'll just journal in these pages about something that I want to talk about. And I just love it so much. I love that there's no pressure for it to look a certain way or anything. Not that there should be for any of your journals or your planners, but I don't know. There's something about this that I just find a lot of comfort in. Oh my gosh, the clouds are rolling over even more now, but we have my final journal, which is my diary, if you will. And my therapist encouraged me to start one of these again. I have some completed diaries in the back from years past, especially going through hard times. This is a very sweet little Snoopy notebook. Have a nice day. Naturally, I am not going to share what is inside here. And this also just lives on my nightstand typically and right front and center so that I can grab it if I want to write in bed or if I wanted to bring it to my desk here to write as well. And that is my planner and notebook ecosystems. It is a wee bit more than I thought that I had. It's so funny how when we gather everything up together, we always have more than we think we do. I hope this was interesting for you. I hoped that maybe it inspires you to pick back up planners or notebooks and journaling and just recording your thoughts in your life in a very analog way. One that I would love to start is a media journal, which I have tried before and failed. I wanted to track my books analog in a journal and just found that maybe I didn't have it accessible enough and I was just reaching for my phone instead to see what I wanted to read next or to mark a book as completed. But we will see where the wind takes me. And with that, I'm gonna go finish my tea that is somehow still warm and track this tea that I have finished in my autumn curriculum of my little project pan with tea. Let me know how you like to journal, if you have any different types of journals that maybe I haven't mentioned that you use in a different way. And until next time, take care of yourselves, stay cozy, and we will talk soon.